Well, in the spotlight right now is Religare Enterprises, a company which is in the process of resurrecting itself. A lot of earlier issues are being solved and buried. A fresh growth outlook is being charted out there. In that process, they seem to have hit a roadblock. What's the roadblock? RBI has told Religare Finvest that restructuring of RFL cannot be implemented, and it has been declared fraud exposure by some of the lenders. Religare has challenged this fraud classification and is putting legal and corrective action in implementation. Let's get more analysis and clarification around this. What's the process? Should shareholders and investors be worried at all by someone who's leading that right now at Religare Enterprises? Dr Rashmi Saluja is here. Dr Saluja, this issue today of course has come again, but it has been there has been some amount of clarification required by the street because of this roadblock which has been hit. Talk to us, where is the matter stuck, what is being done, and what are the stance of all the three stakeholders, the regulator, the lenders and yours?
Hi Ajay, always a pleasure to be on your channel because you're very objective and you actually give a person who's speaking a fair chance to actually explain and talk about it. So I of course thank you and ETNow for having me over. And of course, you raised a very pertinent question of restructuring. Actually, that is one of our companies, which is Religare Finvest company. And unfortunately, this company has had a very turbulent past. So when I say just be patient by hearing me out for 2-3 minutes on this particular subject. So Religare Finvest has been the company in which the erstwhile promoters had siphoned out a lot of money. And that is the reason why we were, in fact, Religare Enterprises was burdened because of RFL. But when the new management and the new board came over, it decided on actually cleaning the company, completing the audit, and of course, the forensic audit and internal audit. And we came to know that there is a lot to be done in this company before the resurrection of RFL can take place. And we started doing it all. Right from of course, filing the complaints and ensuring that the logical legal end is being done. And of course, we were continuously returning the monies to the bankers, and to the tune of 7,500 crore has been returned, and we are still in the process of doing that while the debt restructuring is still continuing. Having said that, the challenge is not for the restructuring to happen which way. The challenge is that why should I be denied a chance because of the fraud classification? The company is definitely not a fraud company. The new Religare Finvest is definitely not fraud because we are victims of fraud. When I say victims of fraud means that we have done it all to get justice to the company, justice to the lenders, and also this has been proven evidently by SEBI's MSA probe report, based on which also a lot of legal actions have taken place. And also the lenders have also been very sympathetic and very appreciative of our work. So is, of course, RBI. We're very appreciative of the work. In fact, there is no other example the way RFL has worked and actually put their own promoters and declassified them from the existing board and management and did everything possible that any company could do. So the new management came over in 2018. The company was under cap. So there is no which ways that there was any business going on in 2018 onwards. So where is the question of the company being fraud? And as far as there are two ways of actually understanding this, that have you disassociated yourself from the erstwhile management promoters? We have done enough to do that. And it has also come in regular news. We have been updating all the lenders. We've been updating our regulator as well. And they totally agree. Based on our credibility, only the lenders went ahead and actually started working on the restructuring plan. But there are certain things which is called in spirit, and one is in the actual what is written on the circular. If you read it word on word and how you want to interpret it and how it is actually in the spirit. So in the spirit of it, we have had a change of management. It's a promoterless company. It is run by an independent board. So when you look at the June 7th circular of RBI, in which it has very strongly and very properly classified how the restructuring can happen, because we thought that we can do far more justice to all our investors and also to the banks also and the shareholders by actually pursuing the legal cases the way we are doing it, getting the monies back, recovering and giving it to the lenders. We thought we would be, and I still think the same, that we are best suited for being the promoter of Religare Finvest in the best of everybody's interest and continuing doing that. Having said that, there are two ways. As I just mentioned, one is June 7th circular, which qualifies you, which says that who are the fraud company, which is classified fraud, cannot go ahead and actually do it. But we still thought that it was not us, and that's what we are still actually working on it. That the change of management, change of promoters has happened, so we do not qualify in that. Having said that, I totally respect regulators, and they have a far larger perspective as far as their own circular and guideline is concerned. My more important thing that I am challenging, not only that whether the Religare Finvest is a fraud company or not, because the kind of work that we have done, banks have joined us in actually the investigation. How can banks or any lenders join a company like ours, which is a fraud? So they can't join a fraud company to actually recover the fraud money. So they have joined victims of fraud who have actually done all the investigations. We have done EOW, we've done ED, and every possible other way of trying to recover, and they're part of us in the entire journey. So now the only thing which is now left to be proven on merit and legally also,
Right.
is which I'm actually looking for a support from the regulator as well, that
Sure.
we are not fraud. Hence, I do not need a June 7th circular to qualify me for the debt restructuring part. So
Right.
that part I am challenging, surely.
Right. That's a very important clarification coming in, because for the naive shareholder who doesn't really understand the intricacies of turning around such a complex matter, which a company which got such a lot of wealth destruction and procedural lapses happened in the past, now companies trying to turn it around. So it does get to sometimes get tangled in some issues on as far as the some of the procedural issues are concerned. But it appears that your conversations along with all the stakeholders are happening. It is got delayed, not completely stopped or hit a roadblock. From here on, what are the 3-4 steps or things to watch out for, triggers to watch out for, which lies ahead? If you could, because last time we spoke a couple of months back, talk to us about what shareholders should watch out for from here on.
Sure. So again, I'm just, so first thing is that I am really very hopeful that the fraud classification would be reversed and we would be eligible not only for the restructuring, but a lot of other avenues would also open up. And this has actually gone, and I'm very happy. And again, through your platform, I am thankful to all my bankers, my lenders, and also to the regulators that they have been very objectively trying to understand our complex situation, because there has been never a precedent like this, that their own company has sent the promoters to jail and disassociated themselves, got a de-recognized of the erstwhile promoters from SEBI. So this is a unique situation. The door opens. A lot of companies who are doing good work and wanting to do good work should be rewarded, should be a message which should actually go out. And that is the very reason my shareholders are very optimistic, and they're very happy and always ready to invest in the growth trajectory of the company now coming out of RFL. Let me also talk about other things that we are doing. One is, of course, as I've always been talking about, the health insurance company. We just had a small bit price realization, which came up to 22,000 crores. It is the second largest standalone company, health insurance company, which is doing extremely well. So whether it is Kedara Capital who's invested in us or existing REL shareholders, they're extremely happy with the growth of the company, the management, the way it is doing. The other interesting thing is, in the last board meeting, which just happened a week back, the board has decided on that we should go completely 360-degree financial services. To start with, in the phase one, we are looking very strongly and working very hard to actually get into the business of AIF, ARC, and of course the broking insurance, because these are the synergistic group businesses in which it can actually see the trajectory and the growth, and we as a company would actually be benefited, and it will be really good for all the companies which are standalone working. It will be a very good synergy in that. Second is we are also raising debt capital and for our insurance company for its growth. So that is around the corner. We are ensuring that it is very well taken care of. It's well nourished so that our growth trajectory does not get affected at all. And it did extremely well during the COVID time. And the, of course, which I always talk about is, which I'm very optimistic on, Religare Broking. And Religare Broking has turned around and has done the best in the last 5 years. So that is something which we are looking at. And in the second phase, we are looking at digital wealth management and so on and so forth. So company has, while we are a small bit of it is Religare Finvest, but because it is a matter of right, and it is a matter of path showing to everybody who does a good thing, and hence my battle for holding on Religare Finvest for all right reasons will continue, while my other companies will be the focus of our organization, and of course all the other newer ventures which I just mentioned.
All right, Rashmi, thanks very much for putting all of that in perspective. These are turbulent times in the market, and your stock has also has felt some of that heat, but the fundamental trajectory is perfect and things are on track. Some delays, which of course you and along with all the stakeholders will work towards removal, and that will work in favor of the shareholders. Thanks very much for your time this afternoon.